It all started with the onset of the Exoracer World Cup, organized by Magic Turtle 322 and Fred the Nyan game dev himself.
It's no secret by this point, I hardly, if ever, play Exoracer nowadays. The rate of decline in my skill is apparent as well, with my last win being on Exocup 35 and my last Division 1 badge being earned on Exocup 48. As of July 15th, 2023, the most recent Exocups as of recording this audio, we just had Exocups 83 and 84. That's 18 weeks without a Div 1 badge, and 24 without a win. Needless to say, I'm pretty washed up. However, you guys must figure that there's a reason I went from covering the Exocups on March 4th to the most recent ones from this past week. Everyone who was there would already know, but here's the story of how I choked Exocup 83.
The map was Pink Trees by Oregon Crate Boy, and my first impressions of it were great. The decoration looked really good, very nice theming with the serene purple and pink scheme, and it hit that sweet spot of being eye-appealing but also not very laggy. The gameplay, however, did not come naturally to me at first. It's just not intuitive. That isn't to say it's bad, it actually flowed very well and it's very satisfying to execute. It took me 4 minutes to get a run I was proud of, and I just kinda lucked into an optimal curtain to jump transition.
I wasn't able to beat my time past that, but it was all good because I locked in a Division 1 slot, finishing 7th. At this point in my Exoracer career, any Division 1 placement is worth celebrating since the skill level of modern top players is unbelievable. The person with the most Exocup wins is Victor X, who won his first Exocup on January 14th of this year, and has since accumulated 13 additional wins, even winning twice in a row, multiple times. Some people have even overtaken Idzap on the Generation 1 levels player score, who was previously untouchable and the undisputed GOAT of the game. So, Exoracer has evolved a lot in its year since release, and the level of competition is frankly incredible.
The first round ended with a new PB. I had much better reattaches and floater zones instead of a lucky curtain, and I would continue to improve those aspects throughout the cup, allowing for a quick, reliable, and consistent pace. Hopefully, the 4th placement was a sign of good things to come. In the second round, I struggled a bit, ending at 18th with an 8.111, and the third round wasn't much better either, ending at 12th with an 8.096. Sticking around the middle of the pack was all I could ever ask for, and I was expecting to get eliminated at any time.
Round 4 was going quite stressfully until I got a lucky 8.062, resulting in a 7th for that round. Seeing as the fastest time to be eliminated was what I had gotten a mere 2 rounds ago, it was clear that this map had some of the strictest pace requirements I'd experienced. Thankfully, the cup graduates to only 2 eliminations per round after this point, so there's less room for you to go out, and in a way it's easier on your mind. At least, that's the way I saw it. In round 5 I managed an 8.044, so I was definitely ramping up my performance. But even with that, I was still only 9th. Clearly I wasn't going to last much longer, but round 6 I got a PB, my first ever sub 8 on the map. That brought me to 2nd by the end, and round 7 I settled with an 8.032. Evidently, I was doing something else since I was just sitting there for 30 seconds, but since I procrastinated for so long on this video, I can't remember what I did. Round 8 is the one before the cup graduates to 1 elimination per round, so that's another big milestone to reach. I failed to perform as well as I had previously, being at risk of going out for the majority of the round. It wasn't until I got an 8.080 that I scraped into 8th, but despite my efforts, I couldn't improve at all. This was by far the best Exocup placement I'd had in probably months, and the nerves were starting to get to me. I couldn't reattach as well as I wanted, and now all I could do was wait and see if I survived. I guess it wasn't my time to go yet. Getting an 8.027 should be safe. The chances of all 6 people under me beating that within the next 50 seconds was very slim. And I was definitely right. 2 more rounds for a badge. It didn't take very long to get an 8.028 here. I was probably safe again, but it's always best to keep playing to build consistency and in case you actually weren't safe. I closed out round 10 with another PB, 1 round to go for a badge. Could I actually do it after so long? An 8.065, not great. I very quickly fell to being at risk of elimination. 30 seconds to go, I needed to get a good run in. And I did! An 8.010 propelled me to second and I was safe. I'd officially entered Division 1 badge territory for the first time in the third of a year, and I felt a massive wave of relief and a big weight off of my shoulders. Now all I could do was try to last as long as I could, since my track record with wins isn't all that impressive. At this point, I had 14 badge appearances and only 2 wins. That's a really bad statistic to have under my belt, but let's see what happens. Getting an 8.030 does not guarantee safety, but I got so early that I wasn't worried since people who tie times won't overtake my position. An 8.095 is definitely within elimination range, and 8.062 didn't move me up any positions. Things are looking quite dire here, so I'd better get a run going soon. Otherwise, never mind, I tied my PB, so everything's fine. Top 3 has been secured. An 8.029 is good, but with competition as stiff as this, it's nowhere near the guaranteed finale spot. I mean, I didn't even end up winning the last round, so I needed to keep my nerves down and build more consistency. Getting a brand new PB is a really good sign. Was I finally going to get my 3rd win? I was so close to the victory that I could smell it. Now this was a round that I was able to win, and in a perfect world, that would be where the Exocup would end. But the cup continued on with Cly being eliminated, leaving myself and Ad the Goat dueling for the champion spot. A 7.982 was an excellent time to set, and I was definitely confident in that. However, I did not get a proper reattach on the last rope, and I recalled that Ad had achieved better times in previous rounds, so I kept playing. I have to say, seeing the animation stating that Ad stole first place made my heart sink a bit, but there was still plenty of time to beat him back. 40 seconds for what could be my final chance at an Exocup win. I got an excellent start and a fantastic curtain. This wall jump was optimal, but I couldn't close out the reattach, unfortunately. A perfect opportunity wasted, 20 seconds to go. My final attempts, could I pull a last second clutch, a Wokak classic? The entire Exocup had been building up to this moment, and this was either going to end in disappointment for me, or celebration. After the curtain failed to reach the proper height, I conceded defeat and waited out the timer. How unfortunate. Obviously, I'm incredibly proud of myself for making it to second in the first place, but that's my 5th time coming just short of a win in the runner-up spot. I was hoping that my practice with the game due to EWC would enable me to have a final moment of glory, but I guess I'll continue to be stuck at 2 wins for now. Who knows, maybe in the future I'll be capable of consistently performing well in Exocups again and snag another victory, but only time will tell. Exocup 84 was Haunted Attic by Yamahez, and it also had an incredible theme with not-so-intuitive gameplay. I ended up getting Division 1 again, but let's not talk about it, this video is already quite long. And of course, Victor X added another win to his arsenal.